Okay, so about Detroit Lions offensive line, you hear people saying, go get this guy, go get that guy. Like I said, I didn't really watch the game yesterday. I just followed it on the phone. Uh, just wasn't interested in it, to be honest. Like I said, since that Kansas City game, just the shit, everything just seemed fake. It's kind of hard, especially with the NBA gambling. Like everything is like sports seem fake right now. But see, you got a lot of people who don't understand football, saying the Lions should go do this and the Lions should go get that guy and they should do this, that, and the third. Offensive line don't work that way. It was a particular clip, short I did last week. It probably went up to on Monday or something. I don't know when it went up, but there's a particular clip where it talks about Calvin Shepard say, in this system, we can't go get a middle linebacker and plug them into this system because it won't work. We too far, into the year. You can't do that. You can't go get a guard and plug them in there, or you can't go get a tackle and plug them in there right now. Now, Zyfer might be on the short list when you're talking about guys that's been here, or bringing back Frank Ragnow, but short of bringing back Zyfer and Frank or Frank Ragnow, it's a wrap. You can't put these guys in there and expect for them to be in unison. The offensive liners in unison when they step, when they pull, when they kick, when they double block, when they down block, when they do all these type of things. It's chemistry being built over time. And then you don't have the quarterback who can improvise. That's a big problem here. A lot of times you have a quarterback, you know what I'm saying, they can improvise with their legs, or, they know to get the ball out their hand pretty quickly, or they know how to slide and by time. You have pocket mobility. Like Peyton had really good pocket mobility. Brady had exceptional pocket mobility. Wasn't mobile quarterbacks, but they can slide off the spot and still make throws on point. You don't have that in Detroit with Jared Goff. If he ain't on point and planted in the pocket to throw, it's a wrap. It's going in the dirt, or it's going to be a pick. So all this offensive line help, ultimately what you were hoping for was these guys to grow together. You kick Ratledge to center next year. At guard, you probably hope somebody step up and take the guard position, or you go get another guard. That's what they were going to do. Worst case scenario, they probably going to draft another center, prep them behind Glasgow and Ratledge, and then in 2027, 2027, play him at center. Ragnow was the same way. They played him at right guard, I believe, then they kicked him to center. People forget that. Ratledge is expected to play right guard right now, then kick the center next year. So I heard he went out with injury. Sewell playing through injury. Decker playing through injury. Mahogany playing through injury, got injured. Going to be out until late December. It doesn't surprise me when you talk about all these injuries, and I speak on that in another video in depth. It doesn't surprise me. It's the same shit every season with the Lions. It's the same shit since Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell got here. It's been injury riddled. That's why I think, honestly, the only reason they have a Super Bowl window is because it's a clusterfuck in the NFC. It's it. Nobody is truly dominant. Philadelphia have issues. They making moves, nothing pretty major. The only team I really see truly, I don't see any of them truly down. Only one that really worry you is the Rams. But every opponent that's probably your true competition in this conference gets Super Bowl, you got to play them still. You got to play Green Bay again. You got to play not Washington, because my man's with Jaden Daniels. You got to play Philly. You got to play LA. Like I said before, it's the same shit every season, bro. With the injuries, and you can't plug and play offensive linemen. And I think people expected to be a drop off from the offensive coordinator, and people said, well, offensive line, they've been treaded, they've been finessing the game offensively all season. There has been some really, really good, and there's been some bad. So at the end of the day, none is a great partnership. Bringing a new offensive coordinator, I'm not going to say that's the answer. I think they probably should have brought in an established offensive coordinator. But first time calling the offense, of course, there's going to be some issues, but you want to see it get better and better and better. And I hear people saying, well, you can't run the ball if you can't fucking throw if you can't block, especially if your fucking quarterback can't move his feet. So your best thing to do is to run into the blitz. That's your best bet. Your best bet is to run into the blitz, because if you get past that first line of defense, most likely it's 6 with Gibbs. You line up and you go heavy, you line up with a fullback, and you run that fucking ball. That's your best bet. But dropping back, throwing the ball, you see the results that you got. You see it. Like, that's your thing to do. When you can't protect, you don't know when the blitz is coming from, run the fucking football. And if your offensive line can't run block 9.5 times out of 10, they can't run block. They can't pass block. If you can't run block as a unison, you can't pass block. At least when you're in run block, at least you don't have the opportunity for your quarterback to get hurt. You know what I'm saying? In the run game, there's a lot of creativity. So if you run the ball and then you play action, then you get those. That's the problem. I think he figured out what Ben Johnson figured out. Hey, I got to throw to open up the run. And guess what? Defenses are caught up. The ignoramus, run the ball. Keep running it. If y'all got to go out there and sign the fullback, sign the fullback. Run the football. Get downhill. And Montgomery should be getting 15 carries. Gibbs should be getting 20. And that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. And if you can't, run the football, hey, y'all ain't going to win it anyway. It ain't designed for them to win it. Everybody got a problem, but the Lions tend to have the same fucking problem every year with injuries, and they're not doing anything about it. Nothing about it. It's not, this is just a one-off and this is an unlucky year. Every year is unlucky with injuries for them. And he been drafting offensive linemen for years. Whether it was the Sorsdale or going back to the last regime and Logan Stenberger moving up for Manu, and whether it's the Sue Coyote guy in there, he been around. I'm not sure they drafted him, but he been around for a long time. They've been picking these guys for years. Some of these guys should be able to step in and play right away. They've been picking offensive linemen in the middle of the draft for years. So, that's what it is. But my whole thing is hard to run. Somebody coming out hard to run the ball. Yeah, hey, what the fuck you think of passing? Passing is going to do, homeboy. Get your quarterback hurt. As soon as at least you got a dying chance with Gibbs. And Montgomery on the pitch dropping that ball. Fumbling it. He fumbled against Minnesota last year in Minnesota. Y'all forgot that? Bro, yeah, you can't just pick up an offensive lineman and plug them and think it don't work like that. It ain't baseball. Baseball is the ultimate team sport of no camaraderie. You don't have to have real camaraderie to play baseball. The pitcher, the catcher, and the turn play, ain't too much camaraderie. Anybody can make a lot of those plays. Them turning little, it is what it is. The only real camaraderie there for real in baseball is between the pitcher and the catcher. That's it. But turning and making that play, man, a lot of people can do that. I ain't gonna say a lot of people, but they don't take no real chemistry in baseball at all. Yeah, when they pop out, fly, I got it. Ain't no real chemistry in that shit. Offensive line is ultimate chemistry. So if y'all think I'll go get short of Ragnar or Seifert or Jonah Jackson walking through that door, they ain't got a bash chance in hell. So hit the link tree. It's the first link in the description. Check out Trey Lions Talk playlist. You can find me there on Instagram, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, the whole 9 piece.